as soon as you discover what your passion is, then there is, yeah, it's unleashed. A strong longing to do something with it, and well, I can even go very far. I want to leave a legacy. Before I die, I want to leave the world behind in a better way. I'm a lucky girl because I did discover my passion, and so now I'm working along my passions. So every day I do not have the feeling I'm working, because I'm devoting my time to my passions. And that was 5 years ago. I felt very unhappy, and I went through a crisis, and as often happens, then you're much more receptive to your inner thoughts. And then I discovered that I had 3 main items, passions I want to go for. And that's entrepreneurship, other cultures, I just love being in other cultures, and women empowerment. I started to cry, because I think, gee, who am I? You know, then that I can have meaning and for other women. But it came from very deep, and that's what fulfills me most. And then I did all kinds of things, but say a year ago then I had, you know, suddenly the vision to combine those 3. And so now I devote my time to women entrepreneurs. Shout out loud the ingredients you feel attracted to. And particularly with women, unfortunately, all around the world, I discovered that in a different way, somehow women lack confidence. And that's being expressed on different levels. And there's a great self-judgment. And I please leave that, you know, and do share with others your longings. And that's also what happened to me. I mean, at first, 5 years ago, I didn't dare to say, you know, I want to empower women, and particularly in developing countries. But then I had a reason to be in New York, and suddenly I was very assertive, and I wanted to speak to all the women organizations who are there and in New York. So that's what I did. And at one point, I was at UNIFEM, United Nations, their female part, and I simply had the introduction. I've been a businesswoman for 20 years, and now I want to shift my work field to empower women in developing countries. And this woman just asked me, would you consider going to Afghanistan? I said, oh, wow. She so happened to be involved in the setup of Business Council for Peace. And these were very successful American business ladies who want to help in making women economic independent in areas in the world where there had just been war or a huge conflict. And I couldn't get rid of this thought, it just stayed with me. So I went. Just impressed, again impressed by the way women have this, they're so strong, and they have this longing to develop themselves and to earn some money. And that's a well-known fact. You know, research has shown over and over again, be it by the World Bank or IMF, to show that if women start earning money, then everybody profits, benefits. Children go to school, nutrition gets better, men profit, whole villages arise from their poorest level. Fortunately, you know, if you're in business, then often it's not the political environment that is an obstacle. It's much more the attitude of the women themselves, and the culture and the traditions they are part of. Sometimes laws can be an obstacle. For example, by law it's not allowed for a woman to possess land, and then land is the only collateral you can take to a bank. So there's no way you can grow your business. There's no way you can get money, because a bank, you won't get a loan because you have no collateral. And that's tough. And of course, there are often, you know, cultural obstacles where it's not, you're not expected to go into business. I take the economic angle. I very much believe in sustainability and sustainable in the way that they can earn their own money, and in that way they can just, you know, go on and forever. And in my case, I will open up markets. I will link the women in, you know, Africa, Vietnam, to women in Europe and United States and wherever, so that they can just do business together to grow their business. And if they grow their business, they need to hire more people or read women. Building this network, I first need to build credibility. So it's quality before quantity. And you can just imagine Kenya, just the awful uproar that has been, you know, between the Kikuyus and the Luos. And if a Kenyan woman is member of this network and she delivers goods to, say, a Canadian woman, then it's of utmost importance that she performs very well. She has to deliver on time and with the quality of her products that has been agreed upon. If she doesn't do that, then it's not only that this Canadian woman doesn't want to do business with her anymore, but she also ruins it for other women, because then the self-fulfilling prophecy, hey, Africa, you know, that's not reliable. So the first women, particularly from Africa, they need to know how, they already need to have some experience in doing business internationally, because then they can pave the way for others. Then the network is ready to take up all those other women. I try to visualize, and I force myself to do that, say every month, what I want to have achieved in 5 years' time. I aim for 3,000 members. It's by invitation only. And having created 10,000 jobs. So the 3,000 members, those are all women who have their own businesses, you know, all around the world. We live in one world. I refuse to talk about developing countries or developed countries. And they have, because their business have grown, they have hired more women. And it's not just those members, it's not just by having your own business, it's also very important, say, the stamina and the heart of these women. And that's why it's by invitation only. It should be along fair trade, say, ethical principles, and you want another woman to succeed. So sort of, I can see, you know, this vibration, this sort of court around the world, where all these like-minded women are very happy to be part of this network. Lots of these women, you know, start their businesses, and of course, when they are not exposed to any Western, say, design demands, they don't know how to make, you know, products which can be sold in say, for example, Europe, but they die to export their products. And yeah, there's no database, nowhere, where you can find women who have their own businesses. Let me give, say, 2 examples. Last month I was in Rwanda, and you had this, there you have Jeanette, it's a lovely lady, and she exports baskets. It's a very typical project for Rwanda. And she exports baskets already to New York, to Macy's. And these baskets are being made by all kinds of women groups throughout the country. And as you can imagine, in these women groups, there are Tutsi women and Hutu women. And the genocide is only 14 years ago. So very often you will find a Tutsi woman whose husband has been murdered by the husband of the Hutu woman. And they realize the only way to go forward is reconciliation. And she wants to stay and live in her village, and so they will work together. And if I can make sure that she has other clients in Europe to export those baskets, just imagine, then it's not just a few women in a few villages, but there will be thousands of villages and thousands of women who can earn some money to make their living. In India, there is a lady who makes textiles, and this has been made by poor women in the province Rajasthan. And she even adjusted the logistical process to the culture of these women. For example, these women cannot leave their home, so she has no central working place, but the women can make and weave whatever they have to do at home, and then she collects all the textiles and sell them to a retail chain in New Delhi. So and she has only one client abroad in Paris, and this client has 3 stores. So just imagine, if she can export all these lovely fabrics to other countries, then lots and lots of more women are being provided with more work. But also, just last week I was in Nairobi, and I met a woman who makes her business out of recycled flip-flops. And flip-flops are all those sandals African people usually wear, and they are left on the beaches. So she uses all these leftovers, all these flip-flops, and makes the most incredible products. But typical European women who deal with fabrics and accessoires, they go to Shenzhen, just above Hong Kong, because it's been made very easy for them. But then they've got a huge fair. But then they buy, say, fabrics, and they have no clue whether it has been made by children or which chemical stuff has been used in the process. So now I offer them to order the same products, say in Kenya or in Zambia or in Bolivia or wherever, and they want that for the same reason as I want that. By ordering it there, they support and contribute to better lives. It's being in contact with yourself and daring to do your own thing. And I would say in daily life it has lots to do with reflection. Ask yourself the questions: is this what I want? Is this the way I want to lead my life? And I feel therefore extremely happy because I've discovered my passions and organized my life accordingly. So I never work. And on the other hand, from 7 o'clock in the morning up till 12 o'clock at night, I can just go on and on and on. It's because it's so fulfilling. And we of course spirituality, you can make so many angles you can take, but what I would say is particularly that once in a while that just realize what you're doing, and is that in line with your inner drives. Well, in a way, I believe everybody wants to make a difference. We all have this sparkle in ourselves, and that can be expressed in many different ways. And for me, it's very, very important to lead a meaningful life, and that I can influence, have an impact in making a better world.